area teams hit full stride this week as they strive for a bid to the states. Plus, championship action on the mat at the Maryland Private School Tournament and your chance to win a $50 gift certificate. Highlights, scores, and more straight ahead on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. He's going down the right sideline. He's going right.
Today's show is brought to you by University of Maryland Medicine, Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Geico Direct Insurance.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor with the Sun. Championship fever has taken hold all around the state, and today we'll bring you up to date on the latest results. But first, we take you courtside for a showdown in Howard County, where 6 teams again play this week, all in the running for the county title. The Scorpions from Oakland Mills, tied for first place, needed a win against the Lightning from Long Reach to stay even with Centennial. And the Lightning was just one win off the pace. Which team came out on top in this tug-of-war title run? Let's head to the highlights.
Friendly hellos at the start would be the only pleasantries exchanged between the Scorpions and Lightning on this night. Long Reach strikes first with this follow-up by Kelvin Jones, who goes up strong for the deuce and a trip to the stripe. The Thunder continued on the inside. Lightning's Josh Gross pours it in. He had 15 on the night. But the Scorpions would bite back. Vinez Nicholson led all scorers with 23, buries this 3. Not to be outdone by teammate Jester Jones, who stutters and steps back for the sweet bucket. The Scorpions down by 4. Nick Andrews takes it upon himself to open up the lead back with this drive to the hoop. He contributed 9, and Long Reach moved out by 10. But at the end of the first, Cyril Chesson pulls the Scorpions with an 8 to spark some momentum. In the second, Nick Andrews ignited the Lightning, displaying his finesse in the paint. But Oakland Mills answered with the art of the three-pointer by Pat Oster in the third. And Jester Jones, good for 18 with the stroke of the brush, moves the Scorpions out in front in the fourth. Nicholson puts the finishing touches to the canvas with a tray. And Oakland Mills keeps pace atop the division, a 78-64 victory over Long Reach.
It looks like the title will come down to the wire in the tough Howard County League. Here are some more results from around the region on our Geico Direct scoreboard.
The undefeated Mustangs from C. Milton Wright were looking for their 16th straight win and to pull away with a commanding 2-game lead in their Harford County race for the title. But first, they would have to outdistance the second-place Hawks from North County, the 2-time defending county champions. And the Hawks flew out of the gate fast. Jen Griffin hits for 2 of her 14 on the night. And Monica Jones added 2 of her game-high 22, and the Hawks were quickly on top 12-2 and stretched it to 22-8 with 10 for 18 shooting from the field after 1. The Mustangs mustered some horsepower behind Paige Heath with good outlet plays. She sank a team-high 17, and C.M. Wright pulled with an 8 at the half, 36-28. In the third and fourth quarters, the Mustangs repeatedly pulled within 5, using a heads-up play inside. This one to Bernadette Colvin, who contributed 14 on the match. But the Hawks and Jill Hanratty, who pulled down 17 boards to go with her 10 points, were too strong on this night, shooting 52% from the field in the first and 47% for the game overall. The North Hartford Hawks move into a tie with C.M. Wright with this 68-61 victory. Both teams now stand atop the league with identical 8-1 records.
The number 8 Vikings from Mount Hebron were looking to knock the number 2 Hawks off their perch, who entered the game with 19 wins without a defeat. The Hawks clawed their way out in front early. G. Outen Barlow makes the nice move inside off the glass for 2 of her 6. The Vikings retaliated with the classic backdoor move. Game-high scorer Tiffany Randall banks in 2 of her 14. Senior Lauren Kickham shows good foot movement. She'll pull up just outside the paint for the bucket. And Kickham again gets good position inside and goes up strong for the money. Mount Hebron led by 3 at the half. After the break, the Hawks had a keen eye for the hoop. Kay Miller-Tate hits all net, racking up 8 in the contest. And Alton Barlow plays the miss and goes up strong, putting the Hawks up by 5. Erin Jassett keeps the door open for the Vikes with a power move inside, plus the bonus to pull within 3. But the Hawks behind Fana Walcott would fly high on this night, taking it to the hoop and the win column. River Hill remains undefeated with the tough W over Mount Hebron.
When we come back, the road to the state title continues with a championship match in Baltimore County. It's our big game of the week, and it's next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
There's a hospital in Maryland where a team of researchers are developing innovative, non-invasive cancer treatments. Doctors here are minimizing radiation exposure to healthy tissue by using 3-dimensional images to target the exact locations of tumors, thus improving patient comfort, care, and success. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Make my dorm room the Best Buy dorm room.
This is it. Best Buy Residence Evaluation Team. We're going to take a look around if you don't mind. Built-in VCR and a Sony PlayStation, huh? Do your parents know you have that? You can't stop me. Yeah. Am I the only one that smells that? Nice computer. Hey, what kind of CDs you got? Great stereo.
Dorm life from Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
What's up? Tom, it's your mom. Mr. Gecko.
This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Not every victory makes the papers. Achieve New Balance.
The number 10 Millers from Milford Mill know what a championship run is all about. Last year, they made it to the state finals only to come up short. This season, the Millers, behind standout guard Mandy Clark, were picked to go all the way again. But they would have to overcome stiffer and more experienced competition, like the Catonsville Comets, also preseason favorites to make a dash for the state title. Well, the two teams met Friday night for the Baltimore County Championship, and of course, only one would walk away with the coveted crown. Which team took the trophy? Let's ask our Dave Goldman, who was there for all the action at our Dick's Sporting Goods Big Game of the Week.
Sam, before we head to the big game, it's time to announce today's winner in the Dick's Sporting Goods $50 gift certificate giveaway. Mark McClelland of Cockeysville. You now have until the end of today's program to call this number and give your date of birth and social security number and claim your prize. Anyone interested in becoming eligible for next week's drawing and a chance for a $500 grand prize certificate in April, stay tuned for details following the big game. Well, Sam, we thought we'd have basketball, but again on Friday, Mother Nature showed everyone who's boss. So Milford Mill and Catonsville will play on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at Catonsville High School. And for a complete wrap-up of the game, tune us in next Sunday morning. So instead of a big game, we offer you a series of big games, or in this case, big matches. Welcome to the Maryland Independent Schools Wrestling Championships. And it was the host team, McDonough's Eagles, along with Mount St. Joe and Archbishop Curley, making a strong early bid for the team title. One of those Eagles responsible was heavyweight Kellen Williams, He needed the full 6 minutes to brush back a solid effort from Bolingbrook's Mike Price. Easily one of the best matches of the weekend. Williams had to hang on, literally, for an 8-7 win.
When everybody at the end of the season starts winding down, getting ready for tournament time, we're peaking. Our conditioning, our training, we're up all the way up to the top. We're ready to go out there and win.
Equally impressive at 189 was Gilman's Elliott Wiley, who avenged an earlier season loss to Matt Bovich of DeMatha. The final this time 3-2 in favor of the defending MIAA champion, who last season wasn't even in the Gilman starting lineup.
Whoever wants it more, usually. Like when you evenly match with somebody, you just have to go out there and whoever wants it.
And Wiley, along with the rest of his Baltimore area counterparts, demonstrated how much they wanted to bring back the Maryland Independent Schools Championship to Charm City. There is something very special about a wrestling championship. After all, it is the culmination of months of hard work and sweat in a dark, dingy room in a basement somewhere. But in just 6 minutes, many dreams are realized. At McDonough School, I'm Dave Goldman for the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
Mark McClelland of Cockeysville still has until the end of today's show to call in and claim his $50 gift certificate from Dick's Sporting Goods. If you would like to enter our drawing, send a postcard with your name, address, daytime phone, date of birth, and social security number to the address on your screen, or send in the entry form located in today's Sunday Sun. All contestants will be eligible for our grand prize $500 certificate in April. We'll announce another lucky winner next week, so send in your entries today.
Each week, we honor champions off the court, athletes who strive to do their best in the classroom. Today, we salute these top achievers from Old Mill High School in Anne Arundel County. Congratulations and keep up the good work. Up next, it's our male and female athletes of the week, and
coming up next is the best class ladies of the week on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Yay!
Are you an athlete if you only play for bragging rights? What if you inherit your uniform? Are you an athlete if your toughest competition is yourself? What if your role model doesn't even play a sport? Or if you don't play sports at all anymore? Are you an athlete? Always. Russell Athletic, durable clothing made for the long run.
There's a hospital in Maryland where doctors are taking crash injury research to the next level. A hospital whose doctors are analyzing real crash data to help advance orthopedic care. Where world-renowned shock trauma specialists are using their clinical experience to help automakers design safer cars. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Here's my idea. Make it easy to buy a cell phone.
With this new cellular and DSS support zone, Best Buy is unstoppable, Ed. You said it, Pat. Here we can see a customer being helped with his cell phone activation. He's connected and ready to go. Ooh, and this guy just made arrangements to have his DSS installed next Tuesday. That's a great plan. Let's go down to Frank.
So what do you think of the new support zone?
It's great. Everything's in one place. It's really easy.
Well, there you have it. Helping you get connected the easy way. Best Buy, now that's a great idea.
Lauren Betzing of John Carroll and Mike Faust of Gilman turned in outstanding performances last week. Lauren, a freshman, powered the Patriots to their 5th straight girls swimming title in the Harford County Championships. And Mike, a senior heavyweight wrestler, ranked #1 in the nation, won 5 matches, 4 by pins, to extend his remarkable 35-0 record. We congratulate Mike and Lauren, our University of Maryland Medicine Athletes of the Week.
At the beginning of the season, I had hoped to place first in both my events, but I really wasn't expecting both the relays. And going into the finals, we weren't placed to win, but we all really gave it what we had, and we ended up coming out with the win.
And freshman powerhouse Lauren Betzing ended up coming up gold in 4 different events at the county championships. She captured the 100 and 200 freestyle events and anchored the 200 and 400 relay teams, capping off her regular season undefeated in all 4 events.
I started when I was 5 years old, I guess at my summer swim club, and I haven't stopped since.
And it seems Lauren never stops. She's in the pool year-round, not to mention the time she spends on the soccer field and as an honor student. She's a competitor, and she's committed.
Unlike other sports like swimming, you need to do it every day to really keep with it and be good. And mostly I have practices at night for about 2.5 hours, and we go and swim and do a lot of yards.
I think her effort is, contagious. When students work hard, when swimmers work hard, any athlete, the other kids see that, and they try to keep up with you, and it makes the whole team better.
Lauren wasn't sure just how much better she would make the team, and she admits she was nervous coming in as a freshman, but after a short time, she felt total acceptance.
I was a little nervous going into the season. I knew a lot of the freshmen, but didn't really know everyone else. But everyone was really nice, especially a lot of the senior girls. Really made you feel like you were a part of the team. And going into next year and the next 2 years of my high school, I just continue swimming and try to do my best.
Lauren's first year swimming proved to be quite an impressive one, and with 3 years left to go, she's got a bright future ahead of her. Now let's meet Gilman's Mike Faust, who's wrapping up his high school career on top.
It's an honor to be #1, but it's also, a challenge to me personally that I keep having to try and motivate myself not to lose it, because in any day, someone could take that from me. And it's just a combination of things of working hard in the wrestling room, lifting hard before and after practice in the weight room, and going to tournaments out of season. I mean, wrestling season's only in the winter time for high school, but I wrestle from pretty much year-round, going out of state. I go up to North Dakota, down to Florida, up to Michigan, down to Alabama. It's a lot of miles in the car for my family, but it's what you need to do to be successful.
And Gilman star Mike Faust certainly understands the meaning of success. At 215 pounds, he's the #1 heavyweight in America. Last week alone, Mike won dual meets against John Carroll and Mount St. Joe, then won his 3rd straight MIAA championship, and earned an award for the tournament's outstanding wrestler.
I just try to outwork my opponents. I might not be any quicker, stronger, smarter, but if I'm in there, every day, just going 100% all the time, and I'm outworking them, then I'm gonna catch up to them one day. Some people under pressure, they fold, others focus. I like to think that I focus pretty well. I mean, I get nervous, and scared sometimes, but overall I enjoy the pressure. I mean, it kind of adds to the excitement of it, so it's not too bad for me.
I think what makes me most proud is that he is a real person. He is a gentle giant. He has a lot of interests, and he's a very bright individual, and I think it not only is reflected in the classroom but also on the mat.
It's a combination of things, and they work both ways. So I think it's a good relationship between the two. If you're really serious about wrestling or football, you should be equally serious about school.
And we congratulate Lauren and Mike for doing their best as our University of Maryland Medicine Athletes of the Week.
Thanks, Amber. Now, let's keep the action rolling with these outstanding plays from last week.
Sam, we start this week with Rhyme Over Rim. Jason Gross from Longreach with his poetry in motion. Then how about this preposition, by the other end? The sentence isn't complete without this proper ending by Oakland Mills' Jester Jones. Now we turn the page where we find River Hill's Fana Walcott with the pick and roll to the bucket and the exclamation point. Then over in Harford County, Monica Jones dots her I's and crosses her T's with this interception and drive for the deuce. And how about this drive into a brick wall by Mustang Paige Heath, who still sinks the rock? Then we roll back over to Longreach as Kelvin Jones takes us home and slams the door with our Best Buy Outstanding Play of the Week.
Today's Best Buy Best Cheer comes courtesy of the Lady Vikings from Mount Hebron. You are now nominated to be selected our Best Buy Cheer of the Year. Congratulations, ladies. Medical Minute is brought to you by University of Maryland Medicine, featuring Dr. T. Mormon, orthopedist and head trainer for the Baltimore Ravens, who talks to us today about rotator cuff injuries.
Common scenarios where we'll see a rotator cuff injury is in the athletes who are in overhead sports, like tennis, football, and our quarterbacks and guys that are throwing the ball, baseball, probably the most common of all. And it's really an attritional wear thing that occurs over time where the rotator cuff is overused. The rotator cuff muscles are really a layer of muscles down deep underneath the surface that you really don't see, and you can't see the contour except in the far back of the shoulder. But these are the most important muscles for keeping the ball in the socket and keeping the shoulder stabilized so that the big power movers can move the shoulder through an arc of motion and perform the weightlifting or athletic task. Fortunately, most of the rotator cuff injuries represent a tendonitis and some irritation of the bursa, which is the fluid-filled sac up above the shoulder that lubricates the motion, which also has a lot of nerve endings in the area. And in the cases of tendonitis, oftentimes with some anti-inflammatory medications and rest, they'll come around and do relatively well. Chronically, for the people to keep from getting into trouble, we try to get them on a strengthening program where they're working the internal and external rotators muscles in the arm and building those up with either some weights or some resistance exercises. If you have a complete tear of the rotator cuff, oftentimes it's not going to heal until it's surgically repaired. But for the majority of them, which are partial thickness tears or tendonitis, they'll settle down over the course of 4 to 6 weeks with a good program of anti-inflammatory medications and gentle strengthening, as well as modification of the activity that caused the problem.
When we return, this sharpshooter for the area's #1 team reveals an amazing secret. You won't believe your eyes. Stay tuned. His story is next.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Make my dorm room the Best Buy dorm room.
This is it. Best Buy Residence Evaluation Team. We're going to take a look around if you don't mind. Built-in VCR and a Sony PlayStation, huh? Do your parents know you have that? You can't stop me. Am I the only one that smells that? Nice computer. Hey, what kind of CDs you got? Great stereo.
Dorm life from Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
What's up? Tom, it's your mom.
I'll be right back with your new low Geico rate. Great. I can save you over $250.
Every week, 10,000 drivers switch their car insurance to Geico. We take all the necessary precautions. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Busy day.
What?
When Annapolis senior guard Joe Feldman was 5 years old, he was involved in an accident which left him virtually blind in one eye. What's remarkable about Joe, however, is while growing up, he never let anyone know about his condition. In fact, his coach at Annapolis found out only 2 weeks ago. And why should he have known? Joe is among the team's leading three-point shooters.
If it comes up in conversation somehow, then I have no problem if people know. But usually it's not something that I would just bring up. I mean, it's not that big of a deal for me because I've adapted to it, so I don't really think about my eye. I mean, I just feel like I can do it with one just as well as other people can do it with two.
And up until the time senior Joe Feldman was to enter the first grade, he had the use of both his eyes. But an accident occurred on the day his family was moving into a new home, and a box opener pierced his eye.
I lost the vision in my left eye. My right eye is the source of all my vision now. But if I was to close my right eye, and just use my left eye, then I can make out things. I can make out faces, and I can make out like how many fingers someone's holding up, but I can't read. And I can see like shapes and some like faces within like 10 to 15 feet, but after that there's not really much I can see.
Well, not much except the bottom of the net while Joe is on the court. This honor roll point guard has been acing three-pointers for the #1 Annapolis Panthers all season long and earning top honors, hitting the books as a member of the National Honor Society and its academic team.
I don't necessarily need to go out and have a 25-point game. I mean, that's not that big a deal for me because we have guys that can do that. I just like to go out and not make any mistakes. I like to play a solid game and do the little things I need to do to help my team. I like the fact that I have a 4.0. I mean, a 4.0 that's essentially perfect. So, I mean, I feel like as long as I have a 4.0, then I've succeeded as well as I can.
I don't care how talented you are. If you don't show up and you don't give a good effort, you're not going to succeed. And regardless of Joe's sight, I think that he epitomizes those things. He's a great student, which means evidently he's put a lot of effort into that. And he shows up every day, which is important to me. He does what I tell him to do, which is important to me, and he gives the best effort he possibly can, which is important to me. So, you know, whether Joe was playing basketball for me or I owned a corporation, I was going to hire somebody, Joe would be the type of guy that I would pick and I'd want on my team.
Being partially blind hasn't taken away from Joe's focus. He's a starter for the Annapolis Panthers, carries a 4.0, and scored over 1,400 on his SATs. Joe also has his sights set on a career in economics after graduation.
The big thing, I'm just going to take my first step next year and go to college. Columbia, Penn, and Maryland, my three choices right now. I like the business world. I like being in control of how all that stuff happens, and it's all really interesting, and that's my basic direction right now.
And just having a sense of direction, Joe feels, is an important ingredient for success. And having sports as a motivator puts icing on the cake.
Sports is really helpful because it gives students more opportunities. I mean, if there's a really great basketball player, I mean, he can get into a good college, and then from then on he can work in the classroom, and then he'll be able to have a decent career regardless of his athletics. I mean, he'll be able to move on without the athletics, so he needs to. That's what the sports gives young athletes a good opportunity to open up other fields.
Thanks, Elena. Joe Feldman is not the only three-point specialist for the Panthers. The team averages 7 three-pointers per game, and Feldman, as well as Marcus Johnson, Marcus Neal, and Thomas Hawkins, have all made at least 25 three-pointers this season. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to continue reading The Sun for up-to-date championship information and results. Thanks for joining us, and as always, have a great school week ahead.
Our Prep Athlete Awards are courtesy of Larry Beck, the Trophy King.